YouTube fam, we're back. The Garage Studio is open. Another episode of the Left, Right, Left podcast. I am still your host, Mark R. Chabot, United States Marine Corps retired. Hey, huge shout out to my sponsors out there, the Amphibious Tractor Memorial. Don't forget, like, subscribe, respect your elders, do all those things that we need to do. Please help me continue to support them the best that I can by continued viewership. And additionally, if you haven't been over there to check out that website, please do. Reach out to me if you need that information. I have a very special guest with me today. This Marine is one of our nation's heroes. He has sacrificed so much. He's combat wounded. He's a triple amputee. He has been just an inspiration in people's lives, and he's somebody that I just have so much respect for because of the way he carries himself today. Without further ado, I would like to introduce everybody to my little brother sitting across from me, Mr. Larry Bailey. Welcome to the show, brother.
Oops. Appreciate it. I'm glad you invited me.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. It's my honor to host you. I mean that, for somebody who has given so much to our country, thank you for taking time out of your day, to join me.
Definitely. Thank you.
All right. So let's get right into it, man. Before we talk about, your service, tell everybody a little bit about where you grew up and kind of the young Larry Bailey.
Alrighty. Well, I'm the youngest of three. My parents, they were both in the Navy. My dad did a full 30-year career, retired. So I was born in Oakland, California. Lived in San Diego till I was about 10, and then from there we ended up moving to Puerto Rico, which I say for a kid that was probably my favorite place I lived. Like I had a great time. I've always been a gamer, but just because it's the base there is kind of like its own enclosed city. Cities like I was still outside like a lot more than I was in the house gaming. So I loved it as a kid. Rode our bikes everywhere. And then from there we moved to Illinois. My dad wanted to retire where he started, which was Great Lakes, Illinois, and then he retired from there. I finished high school there, did some college, got my degree, and then from there went on to the Marine Corps.
So both your parents are sailors. You grew up in a Navy environment, and you decide, to join the Marine Corps, enlist in the Marine Corps. Why is that?
Honestly, so talking to my dad about it, we both kind of agreed on. I probably wouldn't be too happy being inside like a office setting in the military, or something where I'm not a little bit more active. So he suggested, being my dad, a Navy diver, and then transitioning to something else later on. I was thinking about it. But a little bit, but then when I ended up going down to the recruiters, I actually went to the Marine Corps one first. Nobody was there, and then I started talking with the Air Force recruiters, and they were showing me the, what do you call it, the combat controllers and the pararescuers and stuff.
Right.
And I went through it with them, and then like a little bit around the time I was finishing up with them, I was walking past, and then the Marine Corps recruiter, he was just standing there. He's like, "Hey, let me just holler at you for a second." And I talked to him, and it was just, signed up from there.
Yeah, awesome. And hey, if you're gonna join the Marine Corps, why not infantry, right? Why the hell not? Let's just go all in infantry, machine gunner. Can you talk a little bit about your experiences, as a young Marine, as far as from when you were in School of Infantry and then your first duty station, and walk everybody through that?
Alrighty. So SOI, it was different. I think I was still a little bit, my mindset, I was still a little bit in like robot mode from boot camp because it's like after like month one in boot camp, it's almost like my personality and brain just kind of shut off, and I just did everything, went through, and then slowly, I guess you could say snapping out of it during SOI, but it was a great time. That was like my first meeting place of some of my bestest friends and things like that. I was already, like I said, going to college before the Marine Corps, but it wasn't the same type of like independent, I guess you could say. So like that was a little bit more like my first taste of like independence, mainly on like the like weekends, just having fun, getting into whatever.
And then your first duty station was Marine Corps Security Force Battalion, Bangor, Washington, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Now, what's some things, up there at that duty station as a young Marine, fresh out of SOI, what's some things that could, benefit the viewers out there with that experience that you had?
You definitely have to go into it, if it's security forces, with the mindset of you're still doing what you enlisted to do, because they make sure that every day that that you're still a infantry Marine first and foremost, just almost like not exactly, but like almost like if you're doing a B billet first, is kind of how it was like explained to me. And then remember, like, if you're doing stuff like guard duty for like the nukes and subs and stuff like that, it is what it is. Gonna be boring, but then again, you're gonna meet some of your, or at least for me, some of my bestest friends ever.
Very important mission. We used to tell the Marines at Kings Bay, Bangor's our partner battalion, that you're not guarding, grandma's cookie recipe. Those are the most powerful assets that, that the Navy has in their arsenal. So yes, it can be a little bit redundant. However, very important mission. And I agree with you 100% that guard force, you really get tight with those that you stand those posts with out there. So yeah, that's awesome, man. So now fast forward, you complete your security force duty tour and you go to 29 Palms, California. So what unit were you with? And talk a little bit about your experience of reintegrating into the fleet and also deployments.
Third Battalion is 4th Marines. Lima Company was our company. I was a weapons platoon. I was in what do you call it again? A ground platoon, which pretty much, as means like a lot of time weapons are in like vehicles and stuff like that. But no, we were on just on the ground walking. And I would say when I first got there, I was kind of like absorbing everything. I got there pretty gung ho at first, and then being the new guy coming from a security forces unit, I got a little chip on my shoulder for just like a little bit. I was kind of, I don't know, I was in the mindset of like, I'm not really trying to fit in. After a while, Marine Corps, it's a big family, and just being there with everybody every day, doing different stuff. I kind of lost a little anger I had and got used to everyone. Everyone got used to me. And it was just smooth from there, just doing your job, right. Training every day.
Yeah, very, very important. That camaraderie, most importantly. So now here you are, reintegrated into 3rd Battalion, 4th Marines, Lima Company, ground platoon, machine guns, hiking everywhere, doing God's work. And you lead into deployment, and ultimately you got wounded. Can you talk a little bit about the deployment that you were on, and then that culminating moment when the unfortunate happened to you?
Yeah, definitely. So that deployment, of course, since you're like, training every day back in the States, just constantly training, to me, it kind of like makes you hungry for, action, firefight, whatever. It was definitely pretty like slow moving at the beginning of that deployment to Afghanistan. Not too many firefights. Most of the time it was just an ambush. If the Taliban felt like they can like take shots and then get up out of there before we could respond. So it was kind of a little bit frustrating for just the fact of, again, you're not in like just a movie scene straight on fight, and they would just harass a lot. But and then it started to pick up a little bit more leading up to when I got blown up. I want to say maybe there 2 months, 3 months, maybe, and then up to the point to where I had got blown up, we had just started a what was it called again? A disruption operation, and how it was explained to me, the plan was to try to like rotate different platoons and squads at the same time, because we kind of notice whenever we get close to like certain places, we'll get a call in, but a bunch of guys left from here and they're headed this way. Pretty much just to try to force actual Taliban to run into us somewhere. And the platoon I was attached to at the time, which was second platoon, we had just taken over a local Taliban commander's compound, and the Marines on the outside side of it they were still holding security. They had ended up getting ambushed, and that's what kicked off everything leading up to me getting blown up.
So now everybody, ambush happens, fire shooting around everywhere, chaos ensuing, right? And you go up to the top of the roof to go lay down some machine gun fire, and then you ask for a reload. When somebody was bringing you a reload, that is ultimately when the IED went off. Can you tell everybody a little bit about how that happened and like how that unfolded, brother?
Yep. So, like you had said, when they had handed us some more 240 Bravo ammo, which is the only part I really don't remember myself, is pretty much it was explained to me. I had grabbed it. I was on the rooftop. There was a ladder against it, and they had walked up the ladder, handed it to me. I had grabbed it, and then I pivoted back around facing the firefight again versus the inside of the compound. And then next thing, everyone knew that there was just an explosion. And then me, myself personally, it's like, I kind of like, which is kind of weird. It's like, I don't know if surreal is the right word, but it's like I kind of like saw myself flying up just like a little bit to about the precipice of like how high I went. And then like coming back down, and everything was kind of like I said, in slow motion. I can kind of see like a halo of dust from like where I was standing, but parts of the roof wasn't there. Most of it looked intact, but I believe I could see it cracking as I'm coming back down. I hit the roof, and like I felt myself start to roll off of it. And I had said to myself, this is going to hurt. My buddies told me that it had actually caved in. So maybe it was like a little bit of both. But then, I said to myself, this is going to hurt. I hit the ground, and I was like, okay, then it hurt. And then I guess from there, I might have like blacked out, because then the next thing I knew, one of my buddies, he was like basically laying on me, smacking me in the face, telling me to chill. And then I'm like, you chill. Like, why are you smacking me? And then, he pretty much said from there, I would like black out about like 2 other times. And then I'll just, wake up fighting, swinging, throwing people off of me. But other than that, we just pretty much chilled and talked up until when the bird got there.
At this point, you didn't understand the gravity of your injuries at this point, correct?
I definitely didn't think it was as bad as it was, because I could feel everything.
Yeah.
And I wasn't in any pain at all until I was like, this is my chance to like experience morphine. And I was like, hey doc, let me get some morphine. Oh, I didn't say that calm. I was like hollering at him. I was kind of like exaggerating a little bit. So he gave it to me. And then that was like the worst thing ever, because pretty much how it was explained to me, it's because I had so many lacerations. So it was like, it felt like to me, I was in a tub of boiling water because of the morphine. So it's like, until the morphine, I was fine, no pain. But then when I got the morphine, I was like, don't ever give me that stuff again, ever.
So they give you the morphine and you sort of go out. At this point, you're on a helicopter medevac. Do you recall I should ask you this. What's the next thing you recall after going to sleep from the morphine? What is your next recollection?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't go to sleep from it. I was up. I was just in pain. I was like super thirsty. I was told I drank up like everyone's water. I remember somebody asked me, did I want to chew? And then someone else like cussed them out. I remember that part. I had asked my buddy, I was like, hey, is my junk still there? So it's like, he looked down and then he like looked me, dead in the eyes. And then he's like, yeah, but don't look, which you don't say that to people. You don't say, don't look, because of course I looked, and then like, you know, I saw that everything was kind of like swollen down there. So I squealed. I like squealed in his face. It's probably the only time in my adult life I've ever squealed, but
Yeah.
it happened. And then, I remember, cause there was a few other injuries that day. So they had ran out of, what do you call it? Polish litters, or just litter period. So they told me that they had used a ladder, and then they put a blanket on top of it, and then a blanket over me to carry me out on. And then I think they said that they actually like bumped my femur on the doorway, but I don't know.
What was your first thought, right? So I should say, once you start realizing the gravity of your injuries, you ultimately lost, both your legs. Both your legs were amputated, and your left arm was amputated. You're in recovery at Walter Reed. Things start setting in. You start, getting your mind back. Your what do you call it there? Your concussion is wearing off, and you're starting to think a little bit more clearly. Like, what was that initial thought that you thought? Were you like, fuck, my life is like over? Were you feeling sorry for yourself? Can you walk everybody through like the real emotion of what that is actually like?
Yep, definitely. Excuse me. Initially I didn't believe it, even though, I could see that I had amputations. But it's like, at that point, it still felt like everything was still there, fully, functional and everything. So I didn't believe it. But once I got over that I would say for maybe a few hours out of like one day, I was like, shit, it's like, what do I do from here? But then like after that, it was a little bit more of, when do I get up out of this room and start, doing physical therapy and using prosthetics and stuff like that. Because I think I've seen some guys, walking past or like in wheelchairs, past my room, and definitely I would say what helped me between some of my other buddies there that was like down in dumps a little bit longer is, I guess it's not the first time I woke up, but like from me remembering stuff, because like those drugs, they're crazy. It's like I had one day thinking it was like multiple weeks and stuff like that. But so it's like first thing I remember is like all of my family there. And that definitely really helped me with my like mental state and my recovery, not really being like down in the dumps.
Yeah. Definitely, that's family support, I'm sure, was incredibly helpful to you. So the process, right? Like I know a lot of Marines that, are missing one limb, and they have to kind of deal with that. They get fitted for one, they're walking through that, but with 3 different limbs, how did that kind of unfold? Was it like, did they do like both your legs first, like fit them both? Was it like just one at a time?
Okay, so at Walter Reed, they definitely started it with my hand, with my hand prosthetic, and doing occupational therapy. I had already started with PT, doing different things that strengthens your core, because as they let you know over and over, most of your walking in prosthetics is going to come from your core, not like not as much your thighs and stuff like that. So I had started that way, and then finally, I forget how long. I want to say 6 weeks after like your last surgery and stuff like that they have you wait before they start fitting you for prosthetics and things like that. And they did a lot of things in-house there at Walter Reed, which was good. They had a whole prosthetics lab, so it made things move a little bit faster and smoother and stuff like that. But it was a little bit painful at first, just because, my limbs weren't used to having to wait on them since I had got blown up. But that was like super short lived. And then I don't know, things kind of just moved from there. But, it's like also because I had like really mean PT ladies that always had a pleasant smile on their face, but they were like really mean at the same time. So that got things moving pretty quick.
It's astonishing to me, all the advances in prosthetics and stuff, to the point where, you came walking up to the garage and you said, "Hey, Mark, I got my short legs on because I'm not sure what your studio looks like." So all of us are probably pretty unfamiliar with that. So can you talk about the difference between like your short legs, your long legs and stuff?
Yep, definitely. I can do that. So it's like, yeah, I said that because my short legs, they're more comfortable for me for like in the house, a hotel, I'm more, I don't know, how do I say, what's the right word? Do I want to say agile, or I can move better in the short legs, way better balance. I use these for hunting, acrobatics, whatever, anything that's not just straight up walking. And then my taller prosthetics, which doesn't quite have me as tall as I was, but close enough to it, which was, I was 6'3", and these ones I think I'm about 6'1", but those are better for just, walking distances and things like that. I have something called osteo integration. So it's like I have like a metal rod connected to my femur, so I don't have to like slide on the whole prosthetic, and it's better for your back because with prosthetics, with the normal ones that you slide on with the air suction, they're never 100% lined up, how your legs were. So it's like your spine's not happy and stuff like that. And it's just better control and things like that. But at the same time, with the osteo integration, they won't give you anything like I'm sure everyone's seen the running blades and stuff like that, because I guess they don't want you to be putting like that type of constant force on your femur, since it's the metal rod's like kind of what's the word? Integrated into your bone. Mm.
It's a miracle that you're still here talking to us, considering the impact of the explosion that you experienced, and grateful and very thankful for that. So, you're functional enough, meaning that you can still do a lot of things that you used to be able to do. Before we talk a little bit about that, do you experience do you experience like a lot of pain and discomfort in your daily life?
Honestly, so something's like, I probably noticed it maybe like a few years ago. It's like more so when I'm like lying in bed about to like fall asleep or something like that. It kind of feels like I've let go of some like tension throughout the day, and then like my legs ache just a little bit. But I realize that's like it's kind of like a constant small pain, but it's like you're just so used to it, you don't pay attention to it again until I'm like rested. Other than that, no, I'm not in any pain or anything like that.
In your left hand, if you show everybody a little bit your left hand, that's unbelievable. I'm not laughing at you, Larry. Everyone looks just like the Terminator. That's crazy. Are you able to get kind of normal function, like you can grab everything and you can do a lot of the things that you used to do with that hand?
So for the most part, yes. But like something like this, since it's open, I want to grab it because, I can grab it. I can close it just enough that I'm not going to squeeze it. But it's when I start moving around and stuff and how it detects what you want to do, what you want it to do. I can easily like just bend the open soda can and soda's all over the place. No, I'm not. Yeah, I didn't leave anything out.
Unbelievable, man. Like you just managed to keep a smile on your face, stay positive, despite this happening. Tell everybody a little bit of like what some of like your favorite things to do, like your favorite hobbies and things that, just keep you motivated and keep you inspired.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I'm definitely, a huge gamer. I would say that's like, nowadays I really only like game at night. It's kind of like my reset. So I'm not out here like choking just random stupid people at the gas station or something like that. I do quite a bit of shooting. Just, you just got to keep it up, I guess, or you want to make sure that you're just as good or even better than you were when I was like active duty. That's one of my hobbies. Working out is a on and off love and hate hobby, but yeah. I always feel guilty when I slack off like I have been like this last week. And then just investing the stock market, but I think I almost get the same feeling from investing or finding like next big crypto coin. I almost get the same feeling as I get from like gaming, that kind of like challenge feeling, but I'm just getting something physically out of it.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm sure, anytime you feel like you're being productive, that's, good for the mind. Hey, once a Marine, always a Marine, right?
Definitely. 100%.
Yeah. So, I could see how somebody maybe could have a sour taste, or a sour attitude towards the Marine Corps, despite, the things that you've gone through particularly. can you tell everybody a little bit about how you're staying connected with the Marine Corps that you love so much?
Yeah, definitely. So of course my buddies and I were texting, talking the same shit we used to talk all the time. Oh, excuse me. Same garbage we used to talk all the time, just sharing stuff, whatever's going on in our lives, planning meetups. A few of them I game with, of course. Usually I usually end up seeing 1 to 3 people I worked with, like every year, maybe summertime for some people, maybe wintertime for others. But I mean, yeah, we stay pretty connected.
And I saw that recently you attended a Marine Corps birthday ball in San Antonio. I know 16 Sergeant Major Marine Corps Carlton Kent was there and some others. Mm-hmm. Do you find yourself doing like some guest speaking or, talking, since we're here in the Quantico area, talking to different classes and things like that?
Yep, definitely. I do speaking. I used to do it quite often. Just the whole COVID thing came in. I think for like a lot of people, it just kind of changed. I'm not asked to come out and speak as much, but whether I am or I'm not, I appreciate it. On and off, I'm invited to different like veteran events or things like the ball, and to me, I mean, it's all a pretty good experience.
I saw on your Facebook profile that I saw a picture of you, and there was a bunch of wounded warriors you guys were all in a group, and some of the military service members were in wheelchairs. Other ones, had single amputees of the legs, but each one of them had significant injuries. Are you part of like a group like that?
Yes, I am. I'm with what they call it, Tunnels to Towers, or it's like Tunnels, the number 2, and then Towers. They helped build my home in Summer Duck. I'm invited to a pretty good amount of different things to them, galas and different balls or meetings, sometimes auctions. They do an annual marathon through the Battery Tunnel every year. I'm involved with them. I'm involved with the Semper Fi Fund. They're definitely real great people, really, really great people.
Huge shout out and appreciation to all the groups out there that take care of, our wounded warriors. I didn't really consider that those groups and those programs help, build a house, outfitted so that way you can comfortably transition in and out of it, man. That's money.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably very, very helpful. Yeah. So do you feel as though you've been well taken care of through the process, meaning that, people have been there's been a lot of complimentary sort of grants and giving and stuff? And the reason why I ask that, Larry, is because a lot of times, a lot of the Marines, when they get out, they feel as though they're sort of like, not taken care of and stuff. So what has your experience been like?
Yeah. So obviously, for me, it's a little bit different than a lot of other Marines. But I was definitely well taken care of at the beginning, and honestly, because of that, or I believe the reason for that is I think because a little bit before I got injured, there was so many issues with things like making sure that, that the Marines or troops, whoever, Marine, Army, whatever, that they're being taken care of, and it's a smooth process. And I think I happen to benefit, or I happen to reap the benefits from it being so messed up earlier on. But at the same time, I'm talking to like different friends all the time. There is definitely a lot of resources out there. They're not, infinite, and they're not all the easiest or like straightforward, but they're definitely out there if you really need them. And if you look hard enough or talk to a friend that knows somebody or that can help you get to these resources, they're out there.
That's awesome. I'm glad that that you were well taken care of, and you're right. I think that's an interesting point, that because there was so many people that were injured and wounded before you, they sort of worked out a lot of the kinks along the process to make it better. I see healthcare has gone up, and service member care has gotten a whole lot better, over the years, and that's the best we can ask for. Keep getting better at it, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. Family is very important to you. Talk a little bit about your family and the dynamic of that.
Well, for just, immediate families, pretty much just myself and my daughter, who's with her mom right now in Florida. But as far as like my parents and my two older sisters go, we've always been really close. I probably harass my parents just about every day. Just sometimes I'll call them just to be loud on the phone. Cause I mean, honestly, I'm a pretty quiet person. I believe, unless I'm like around people I know or comfortable with. Try to do something together during like the holiday season. Doesn't always work out that way. Cause I mean, everyone has their own families as well, but most of the time we're doing something together. And I consider my closest friends, obviously family or brothers as well. So I count them as my family too.
Hey, you have a girlfriend?
I do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about her. Tell us about her.
I mean, well, she's mean. You see my eye? She did this to my eye. No, I'm playing. No. She's cool. She's great. She's a nurse. We met kind of like the modern way for like a lot of people through what we call it, Instagram.
Yeah.
Instagram and we just, I guess, just do regular couple things. We both, I believe we have a perfectly healthy balance of like doing our own thing and then just like in each other's face, just way too much. Yeah. Bounce up pretty good. It's never been that smooth for me in past relationships. It's either I don't want to be around the person since at all or as often or they're just on top of me too much, won't let me breathe.
Well, I'm glad you guys are getting along well. That's good. And then back to your point of after you were wounded, you were saying, I just wanted to make sure that my man parts were good to go. Obviously they work pretty well because you got a beautiful 7-year-old daughter, right?
Correct.
That's
Correct.
good. That's awesome. Hey man, I'd like to afford you the opportunity, to give a shout out to anybody out there you'd like to.
Well, definitely, Sergeant Major Kent, great guy. One of my mentors and inspirations, introducing me to you. So that definitely shout out to him and then just the Marine Corps, my friends and family.
Awesome, man. What a great way to close it. And on behalf of a grateful nation and so many people out there that have just so much respect for you, I thank you for your service. I thank you for your sacrifice. And probably this is going to be a big piece of humble pie for a lot of people to watch, before the holiday season. And I admire, your courage, and I admire the fact that, Larry, honestly, I don't know if I could have the same positivity that you possess and the same, attitude that you possess every day, despite. And I just respect it. I got so much respect for it, man. And you're an inspiration to us all. And hey, let's keep charging forward, keep doing that thing, keep paying it forward, man. Yeah. I appreciate you coming on the show and being a guest today, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Shut it down today. I hope that each one of you, enjoyed, Larry sharing his story, about his service, about his wounds, and more importantly, that you got some motivation and you got some inspiration, behind his story. Hey, I hope everybody has an amazing holiday season. Merry Christmas to you. Happy New Year's to you. And hey, be safe out there. Remember, be bold, be brave, and be exceptional, and press the gas on life. Good night, everybody.